Hey guys, this is a Lasko ceiling fan made for Sears and sold as the turn of the century. It is the plain version and it is 4 speeds. At some point Sears, I believe, was selling both the Lasko and Emerson versions simultaneously. At that time the Emerson version was brown and white and the Lasko version was brass. So, the Lasko versions in brown are pretty rare. The Emerson versions in brass are pretty rare. And you hardly ever see either in white. But these turn up pretty often in brass, and the Emerson ones turn up pretty often in brown. They're all very cool fans. All fans that I remember from my childhood. I am including this in the fire sale as a second tier fan, so if anybody's interested, let me know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I forgot I bypassed the ammeter. 1.16 for the second low. Off, high, medium, low. First low, 2.6. Off, no, sorry, low, off, high, medium. The Emerson version uses a KB55. These use a skeletal spinner motor. Technically not even skeletal, it's like half a spinner motor. Because it's not an open frame design, it's a closed bottom and open top. In many ways better than an actual spinner motor, in some ways not better than an actual spinner motor. Low, second low, off, high. It's 0.68. These are not quite as powerful as the Emerson version. It does surprisingly well, actually. Moves about as much air as that Kichler Frist that I recently tested. In other words, more than like a spinner motor Hunter, but less than a stack motor Casablanca. Medium, low, second low. I'll turn it off over here. And I'm going to reverse it. The reverse switch is on top of the motor. What it seems like is that Lasko only made top mounts until Sears contracted them to basically phase out Emerson, and so they copied Emerson's designs, and that's how they came up with these. And then they started introducing a variation on this in their own label, which were sold at Walmart. And these are sold as made in the U.S. Technically all the parts are made overseas and they were assembled here. We'll try to feel around for the reverse switch while it's... There we go, found it. I have 2 other ones like this, and I would love to do a multiple fan install with these. So maybe I will keep this one if I don't get any good offers. I don't know where I'd do it. To me, these are the classic furniture store fan. I can't tell you why that is, because they were sold at Sears, so it wasn't like furniture stores too often ended up with them. So here's reverse, second low, 0.16. It had a light on it, but it was a generic light. It wasn't a Sears light, and it was antique brass, so it was probably added later. Low, 0.26. To me, these only look right on a real high ceiling with the factory down rod. Medium, 0.42. High, 0.68. Fred Hammond's I Will Trust is stuck in my head, which I'm learning for an upcoming choir concert, among other songs. We're down to 0.66, by the way. Oft. I have no trickery up my sleeve because the reverse switch is on top. So I posted a video earlier today. I'm replacing the starter in my car, and I was going to rebuild the old one. I bought the kit to rebuild it. And pulled the starter out today and found out that I had the less common starter that can't be rebuilt. I was going to do a video on rebuilding it since I couldn't find any on YouTube, but that's not going to happen, so tomorrow I gotta get a new starter and put it in then, since I have the non-rebuilt one, or non-rebuildable rather. There we go. Check that out. That dude's quick. Okay. So I can play a little trick on it then. Ah, I went too far. Okay. Decade box. 1 microfarad. 2 microfarads. Ah, 2 isn't enough to start. 0.1. Beautiful. It's one thing about these Lasko motors, you can get a really good low speed with them. The ornate turn of the century in my parents' basement has a similar motor to this, and I think I used it. I don't know what value capacitor I used for that. I also don't know what speed I used it in series with. So that's 2 microfarads, 0.1. Here's 3, which is 0.15. Four, 0.19. 5, 0.25. 6.3, 7.34, 8.39, 9.43, 10.46, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.56, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.62, 25.66. It doesn't matter how high I push it, it's always going to stay right around 0.66. Okay, solid state is left. I had an antique brass one of these when I was a kid. I don't remember where I got it, but I ended up selling it. I actually think I took the pull chain out of it and used it in my Sonidaire and made a 4-speed Sonidaire and then sold it as a 3-speed fan. I don't know, I'm looking at it. This might be one of the few fans I prefer in polished brass. It's kind of hard for me to say. I have one in white and antique brass, but it needs some TLC. Okay, I'm impatient. I got a long night ahead of me. It's already pretty late, so let's stop it. Okay, we're at 0.06. So we actually, seems like we could get things started with a lower value capacitor than even a 2 microfarad. The 2 microfarad resulted in 0.1. Eighth of a turn, 1.5. It's buzzy though. Eighth of a turn, 0.26. Eighth of a turn, 0.41. Eighth of a turn, 0.56. I also think these would be appropriate in a hardware store. I don't know that you often see them in a hardware store, but they're very similar to the Emersons that are often found. Sears fans were real popular around here. Just waiting on turning up one of the 5-blade cane fans like this, turn of the centuries. Preferably, I wouldn't mind actually, that's one of the few fans I wouldn't actually mind in white and brass. Antique brass would be cool, polished brass would be my least favorite finish for that. Been looking for one of those for a long time. I turned down a whole bunch previous years, and I wish I hadn't. From this angle, it almost reminds me of a Comfort Breeze. Okay, thanks for watching.